November 13th, 2008, the grand opening of the Stop and Shop in Ossining. Okay, so wait a minute. We're here with Mayor Bill Hanauer of the Village of Ossining at the new Stop and Shop. And one of the things, Bill, I was just asking the store manager, Rich Perez, is how, I guess it's somewhat ironic that this store has been in the works for 15 months. And of course it's opening in one of the worst economic times in many decades. I mean, what do you feel like are the prospects given that situation?
It's very good prospects. The whole community's been waiting for this store to reopen. And it's really more than 15 months. It's been at least 2.5 years, maybe more, when they started the process of going to the planning board and the zoning board and meeting with community members. And I know that I live in this community, and I know that people right around here would love to be able to walk to shop, and they will. I think the other major thing is that they will create over 200 jobs, 130 some odd of which are new. So
right.
It's a wonderful thing. Now, the economic times are not going to be here forever.
Right.
But in the meantime, they're establishing the following.
Well, and I guess you could say without much argument that people need to eat. I mean,
yes, that's true. And I understand that there's a steakhouse that's coming in on the heels of this.
Really?
That this whole shopping center has empty stores, and they will fill up because the anchor store is back.
Do you know the steakhouse?
No? I understand it's a Japanese steakhouse.
And where did people shop in the intervening years?
Chilmark, Seatown, and over in Croton there's a large supermarket. I can't remember the name of it.
Right.
But a lot of this draws a lot from Briarcliff and Sleepy Hollow.
Right.
And there's a Seatown and Tarrytown, so there was some there, but people have been waiting.
But then I guess you also could say that the underside, so to speak, of that is this will probably take some business away from other stores or have an impact on them.
Yes, but I think the good part of that is that it may impact some stores in the village, but it will bring people into the village who haven't been shopping here for a couple of years. So I think that's very good.
And who may spend money in other places as well.
Exactly. Particularly when this is redeveloped, when the shopping center is finished its redevelopment. Plus, there's a restaurant within walking distance. It's a very good restaurant. And people, when I was looking for a house, I used to shop in the predecessor of the Stop and Shop that just closed to prepare the way for this. It was called Jonathan's.
It wasn't a Stop and Shop.
It wasn't. It was the same company, but a different name. It was a man's name. And I would shop on my way back to Manhattan, where I was living at the time. So if I did that, other people will do it as well.
Well, and also a store this big, I'm not sure what the exact square footage is, but people have told me it's quite a lot bigger than whatever was here before. I think it also reflects, doesn't it, on the Ossining is viewed by a chain the size of Stop and Shop as a strategic location that can pull, because they're not going to open a store like this unless they know that there is, I don't know what the radius would be in mileage, but it has to have a pretty big radius. Right?
It does, and they are planning to build another one in Tarrytown, in the Greenberg part of Tarrytown on 119. This, they told me, is the prototype for all the stores they're about to start building around the country. So
This store,
it's
like a landmark. Yeah.
So, I think it's very important because it means they will keep the store in very good condition, so they can convince people like me in other parts of the country to come take a look at this and say, oh yes, I want that in my community as well.
But do you know when they say that it's like a template for a prototype for other stores, is it It's not just in size. Do you know what other characteristics about it that they?
I think it's the very open layout that, you know, there's a lot of material in here. There's a lot of food. There's a lot of dog food. There's a lot of everything here. And if it's closely packed, people would not like it. So in this situation, just look at the aisles. There's 12 feet between at least 12 feet between these two vegetable and fruit aisles. So people can comfortably shop here.
Right. Yeah, no, I would say just on eyeballing it, it's one of the biggest supermarkets I've ever seen.
Yeah, yeah, I too.
Yeah. And like you say, it is very spacious.
It's spacious
in terms of the human scale, you know.
You know, the way Americans eat has been changing over the years.
Right.
First came Julia Child, which changed the entire world of America.
Right.
But now there's this whole movement towards eating more vegetables, more fruit, more grains. And if you look around this place, huge vegetable and fruit area, huge grain aisles, very healthy, plus a very good meat department. And it looks to me like an excellent fish department, which the previous store didn't have. So people are eating more fish.
Well, no, that's a good point. You're right. Yeah. Fresh prepared foods. Yeah. Seafood. Right.
And it's well laid out too. I mean, once you get used to where everything is, you know that if you want the dairy, it's over there, and there's plenty of room, and there's a large stock.
Right.
Good colors. I happen to like purple.
Well, you know, I mean, I actually have worked in the past on publications that serviced retailers, you know, like Blockbuster. I mean, when you get into this level of retailing, it's very scientific. I mean, nothing is left to chance.
Right.
You know, every square inch of space is accounted for.
Yes, and once you enter the doors, you no longer remember where you are in life.
Right.
It's sort of like a casino.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, when you talk to retailers about that, they actually call it theater.
Hello, how are you?
How are you? Yep, they call it theater.
Yeah.
It's theater to them.
It is. It's bright light.
Right. So.
Usually loud music, and I hope that they keep it down to dull. Little Wagner, perhaps, but
Ride of the Valkyries.
Yeah. But I find that sort of numbing the senses is not conducive for me.
Shopping.
Is not conducive to shopping for food.
Right.
So I hope that they do manage to modulate.
Right. All right. Thank you, Bill.